My beautiful India. Our India is a part of Asia and is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. It is the seventh largest and the most populated country in the world. More than 140 crore people live here. India has many landforms. We have mountains, plains, plateaus, deserts and islands. Let us study about them. The Himalayan mountain range. Mountains are the portions of the earth that have steep slopes. The top of a mountain is called a peak. A chain of mountains forms a range. All along the north of our country lie the Himalayan mountain ranges. These ranges have some of the highest peaks in the world. Mount Everest, the highest peak in the world, is a part of the Himalayan range. The high peaks are covered with snow throughout the year. The mountain region is extremely cold. Many of the big rivers like Ganga, Yamuna and Brahmaputra originate from the Himalayas. The melting snow of the mountains keep these rivers fed through the hot and dry summer season. The plains. Plains are vast expanses of flat or gently rolling land. To the south of the Himalayas lie the Great Plains of India. The rivers such as Ganga and Yamuna flow through these plains. These rivers have made the land of these areas green and fertile. These are narrow strips of flat land along the eastern and the western coasts of India. These plains meet at Kanyakumari. The rivers Narmada, Mahanadi, Tapi, Godavari, Kaveri and Krishna flow through these plains and form deltas along the eastern coastal plain before they fall into the Bay of Bengal. Narmada and Tapi, the rivers of the western coastal plains, do not form deltas before they fall into the Arabian Sea. The plateaus. The southern part of India is a peninsula. A peninsula is a piece of land surrounded by large water bodies on its three sides. The Indian peninsula has the Bay of Bengal in the east, the Arabian Sea in the west, and Indian Ocean in the south. This part of India is called the Southern Plateau or the Deccan Plateau. A plateau is a flat-topped surface that is raised above the surrounding land. This Deccan Plateau region has many rivers like Krishna, Godavari, Kaveri, and Mahanadi. These rivers depend on rains. This region has a moderate climate that is neither too hot nor too cold. This region is rich in minerals. The deserts. A large area of land covered with sand is called a desert. As we travel to the northwestern part of our country, the landscape changes and it is covered with a thick layer of loose sand. This area is called the Great Indian Desert or the Thar Desert. This region gets very little rainfall and the climate is very hot and dry in summers and cold in winters. The desert region is not thickly populated. Camel is called the ship of the desert as it is the most common animal found here for transport. Vegetation of this areas includes kikayo and babul. The islands. An island is a piece of land surrounded by water on all sides. In the Bay of Bengal, there is a group of islands called the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. In the Arabian Sea, there is another group of islands called the Lakshadweep Island. The climate of India. The climate of India varies from one place to another. The northern mountains have cold climate almost throughout the year. In the northern plains, the summers are hot and the winters are cold. The coastal areas have moderate climate. It is neither too hot nor too cold. The rainfall occurs mostly during the summer season. All the places do not get the same amount of rainfall.